I wonder why it doesn't show it. It's a remote desktop of a remote phone. Jesus. Die, Blackhawks. If you get the rectangles on the screen, please subscribe, please like, please. Yeah, we can just close these. I built them. This is what I was trying to show. I just want to go to the next part where there's a signed distance field. I gotta just relog into that. It's like madness to the ear. I don't even know how I can stand all that. Alright, here, so it's always good, like showing a phone to a phone. Ugh. So you can see the FPS right there being updated, the S and the 58. But it's not really, it's sort of the same system as the RTS engine, but it's not. It's got its own little quirk. It's being embedded into the texture, as you can see. How, right here, in this little square, just imagine that it's like a quad here behind this triangle. This triangle is taking up half this quad too. But you see how it's like the transparency got messed up? That's because the text is being embedded in that alpha channel. But it's still using the textures from here because the three other channels are okay. I don't have any sprites in this example to show off the capability, but yeah. How I did it, I did it the wrong way because the AI told me to do it the wrong way first, and then it told me the right way, which is to use FT to read it into memory. With Asset Manager, I'll show the code later maybe. I gotta do a whole revamp of that thing, just like I wanted to do a whole tutorial on how to make a game on Android. I mean, I have tried to do them. I just didn't have the text feature. Okay, so today we're going to be working with probably a little bit of RTS multiplayer. I really want to show off these demos and try to embed them and make little separate C++ projects for them. That was my real goal, like to show, just to have fun with this, because it's really like cool. Like here's something more recent. The MCB build has a lot of cool ones. I think the Lego Builder is kind of cool. Let's take a look at Lego Builder, because I make them in JavaScript on my phone because I could install NDK on my Android phone. That's going to be the next level of fucking being a lead, because compiling Android apps on Android is so badass. It beats Apple to like the fucking teeth in the ass, because it's just fucking crazy. You're making a binary right on the device. On the Raspberry Pi, I do same. I do have a little. Okay, what the fuck happened here? I don't even know what this does. I don't think this is the right one, but this looks cool. There was one demo where like it would allocate all this memory. It would just keep making buffers. So I have to be careful not to run that. Let's look at Blue Sphere Game. This is just random. Blue Sphere Game is probably gonna be random. I do have a little selection thing. Yeah, there's demos like this. Oh, this is the Sonic Blue Sphere game. I did this a while back. Yeah, it's just, and you can't jump, he doesn't have enough time. We could fix this. But we like the colors and everything. This is probably using 3JS, judging by the shader. Usually when it has this nice glossy thong shader, it used to not be able to convert it, now it can. Like the AI got smarter. The other thing we have to do is implement some chatbots, because I was trying to implement a chatbot into the RTS and I didn't know how to do it yet, and just suggested Gemini because that's the only thing I knew. I did go to the Google site and I have the links ready to get that up and running, but I already have another thing that I already have up and running on Hugging Face. Check this out. This is fucking so cool. My first chatbot. The space is sleeping due to inactivity. Fuck! Can't believe it. Can I restart this space? I would have to rebuild this? Or does the application just come back right back up? I think I have to pay for it to be up all the time, or at least have some sort of payment. It should have the code still. It's just like a GitHub repo. That's how it. But the nice thing is, like, yeah, it's Colab also. Council for later. Yeah, so it's like having a HTTP service API. The real one I'm going to show, web RTS demo. Is this the one? Yeah, these are like a little list of my demos. Acoustic water. Yes, so this is a really nice prototyping with AI for games. Because if you're building Scratch games, whether it's in C++ or Unity or Godot or even Unreal or Source Engine, you could prototype in WebGL, and WebGL is like a different kind of like style. So it's cool, but it's still GL. It still has the standard. It's got the main like standard that works on everything practically. Well, not everything, but like it won't work on Windows 98, sorry. Will it work on Raspberry Pi? Sort of, but not as fast. Because I started to convert some of the demos on there. Like I made Grass run on Raspberry Pi. And fucking Grass, it didn't even make an MVP. It didn't make a view model and projection matrix because it optimized it and just said like, just use XYZ and just add them to the fucking thing. The camera's all kind of really hard to use, but it's usable. The frame rate seems to be like 5 or 10. But like I see like on my upper monitor, my room, like a really cool like grass effect. And I'm like, damn, if I could just bake this, like send it to the GPU, ping pong it, which means run through an image, save a frame, save up like 5 frames, save it to a texture and CPU side, then send it to GPU. And then maybe like scale it so it fits like, and then do the same for like trees and a few other objects, and it would be a part of like the 2D game, which is a lot of work. Like you're creating like whole instances of like rendering just for like little things like that. But there is a lot of what's that thing called? It's worth the time because it shows real good. I forget. It's called Real Good Goodness. Oh, this is the WebRTC. Okay, so this is where we're trying to do multiplayer on. There's WebRTC and there's Web Protocol. I mean Web Transport. Sorry. And then there was some UDP and Chrome, and before that we had, I believe, Flash Sessions or something it's called. And that got deprecated with Flash 10, and that can do peer-to-peer, and it was UDP. And then there's something called Gecko's AI. I mean IO, sorry. I get IO and AI now mixed up. It's Yeah, this one, double barrel tank. This is the most freshest one, but it's not the most like cool one. But the idea here was, how is it going to generate this model? Because the model in the RTS examples, in these MCD build ones, it started running out of memory basically. Build a factory. Let's see, can we build a tank? Yeah. That tank actually doesn't look bad, but we already have 2 tanks. Enemies are approaching from the south. Yeah, so you actually get attacked in this. You get attacked by like client-side AI, which is cool. But this client-side AI would have to be converted to server-side anyway. If there was any multiplayer, and yeah, you create soldiers. I don't think you're allowed to select the soldiers here, but I do have a version where you can. We'll take a break. We can just watch my base being destroyed. I can build more barracks or something. There's no resources yet here. We could launch a nuke in some of these versions. gonna restart the stream. I gotta wake up more. I'm just like at the initial level of my awakening. I need to kind of show off my podcast text to myself. My face. God. Uh-oh. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that shit. Alright, so this is how we set up our project. Let me just do this. Do a little bit of hacking on the stream with the washing machine at full power. Okay. So we're on x86. We have to include our directories. It's always the fun part. This is where I listen to sitcoms because they're like the most motivating thing to do while doing this. And is there a faster way to do this? There is. It's to make a project generator, kind of like VPC. What is it? Keyforce is VPC's kind of parent derivative. It's used probably by Crytek and Unreal for generating their projects. It's kind of like a CMake. So you could just keep making builds. Or I could use CMake. I should try it at some point. It's just more rabbit holes to go down. Like once you know this system, and you know the Linux system, you could pretty much do it yourself. And that's the fun part. The war between do-it-yourself and automated tools. It's like if you know both, you could figure it out. So we got those two libraries. We're still going to need freetype. After that, we have to like fix this project up. I have to make it a little more clearer what's going on. I needed to do some fixes. I had them in my head. I forgot what they were. Now we need the 64-bit the 32-bit libraries, which I always have like trouble finding because there's just so many folders. First, we need. So there's going to be curl and Steam game networking sockets at some point, and we should explore Steam game networking sockets. Kind of get connected to the server, warm up the machines. What's my server's name? Oh, it's like a static IP. That's dynamic. It's always like. So we have our servers. Now let's try to do the tutorials on this. Oh, 7 doesn't exist yet. Okay. Now 7 was supposed to be a little bit newer. Because I have to build it kind of like in the raw, do-it-yourself UDP version, and also I wanted to do a Jimbo version, and now there's Steam game networking sockets. And the reason that they're good is that the Steam API, you can make matchmaking. But for the actual game connection to work, you don't need the Steam API. You can just use game networking sockets, which works with the Stun server. There's a Stun server in Google for WebRTC. That's for the WebGL, but it's also kind of like another driveway off the road. But the reason is the Steam game networking sockets has Google SDR socket diagram relays, which is basically a relay server, so you don't have to host your own, which is nice. It's like cloud. Very powerful because I think we need JLM, but I forgot about that. Let's just include the glue first. Where's the glue? Where's our glue? Don't sniff the glue. Okay, glue. I need 32-bit of this. We could also have 64-bit working. Let's just try to get a little bit working first. It's always like pain in the everything. Okay, what libraries do we need? We need like all of them. I like to include all of them. Okay, we need OpenGL, glue, GLFW, freetype, like, okay. But at least we need these minimal ones. I kind of separated them. Here's the minimal. Because some projects don't need all of them. We're not doing that working with like just testing the font rendering system. Yeah, we still have problems. Okay, GLFW is still non-recognized. Why? Why is this always a problem? And that's the thing about doing this manually. It'd be nice if I had them all in one folder, which I don't. At least I have them on the same drive, which is like in their folder. So, okay. So here's the problem. This is supposed to be 32. Voila. Okay. So yeah. Whoever you are, even if you're the most professional programmer, you're probably going to hit this problem anyway. Search paths, it's what it's called on Apple. Because I'm trying to also learn the Apple Metal CPP. I used to learn Molten Core because if I'm converting OpenGL, I might as well just convert it to Metal. But the argument between OpenGL and Vulkan is a valid one. I believe that it'd be nice to do everything in Vulkan. But I do have the experience of going down the rabbit hole of making Mesa 3D library built, which I should actually kind of open today. Just go into that project, and I forget which folder it's in, and there was like 10 different folders because I couldn't build it. Yeah, it's like if you build that motherfucker, you are elite, because it is just such a pain first time around, and it takes a while. Like you'll get all these errors, and you're like, what the fuck is all this? Why is there like 4 build systems, and it builds off of Clang libraries, and it's like, cool, like gnarly ass shit. And then what you get is like, oh man, you just get this thing. And like, what do I do with this? Oh, you just got the renderer, but you still have to write the renderer. You got the driver, you built the driver. Nice. So it's like, why would you do this? And then if you want to go back to Windows 7 for really what you want the driver to be for, you gotta like find the right version. I do have Windows 7 machine. And so Mesa 3D for also Linux, it'd be fun to build it for that, yeah. And then build on top of it. Since I have all these like sample codes, it's possible. And it's like, how much time is all that gonna take? But I guess the thing I remembered is it should be very rewarding. Very rewarding doing all these WebGL demos and writing code for rendering drivers that are custom built. Well, trying to do multiplayer and completely just burning all the time. All right, enough ranting. Let's just include. Oh no, we need GLM, not freetype. We need GLM is kind of, my opinion, noob library, but it's actually getting the raycasting to work, which I actually was all being compulsively obsessed about learning again. Because it needs to be high performant, and I need to run on a thread, and I needed to run like its own bytecode, meaning that don't use GLM. GLM isn't that big though when it like just gets compiled. Okay, I mean freetype.lib. I think we're very close. We just didn't include freetype.lib path here, so we've included all these libraries. And freetype is that thing in my description of this stream. I'm getting to work. First, I got to work on Android, and I so I grinded into the center of it where it opens the file, and I passed an asset manager as the last parameter, and I had to null it out everywhere else where it passes it for the Mac version and for some other versions. And so it opens the stream, and then once it opened it, it fucked up because it didn't open it right, and then I had to just recode it using AI again. So it got triple AI recoded almost, you could say. It got double recoded really, but because of the whole other idea to stream it in, would have been a lot. Okay, so I don't know if this is the 32-bit version. I have to be careful here with 32-bit and not link it with 64-bit because then you get garbage exe. All right, so we didn't link against glue for some reason. Linker errors are so fun, especially when you have 3 Windows SDKs installed and you do source SDK. You're like, oh, why does this library not work anymore? They provided. Oh, it's because it was built with some fucking SDK version. So this has its own perks of being able to do this, because when you try to fix the broken old stuff, you have to rebuild the libraries to ish on the operating system. It's always kind of good to build on the operating system you're building for. That's where it's Valve has some build-a-bot thing for that, I guess. So when they build Steam in their games, they just mass produce this by just forcing it. They're masochist. Alright, so we have Blue, right? Blue didn't link. We have this folder to it. The folder is right. I'm gonna get 10,000 explorers open and crash it later. Okay, it's here, whatever. It's usually the name. We need the static. So it's not this, it's the library itself. Yeah, I'm using not static. So let's just save this. Why we want static is because we don't want to be carrying around the DLL with us like a little, I can't open this stupid SOBJ. And then if it doesn't link like this, I have to go in and just rebuild. I forgot to put .lib. Okay. I don't have to go rebuild it, I think. That's the old errors. But why does it have two simple? Oh, maybe I need to clean. Let's see. Start to run it. We'll know by the output of the video. It looks like it's working. It didn't open any of the files. It doesn't have any files to open. There's no resource files. Okay, that's fine. Let's just go dump the resource folder into there. So 10 has UI icons, and it has so let's just save this text file. Yeah, I keep carrying this text file around everywhere. Madman. And it's kind of like yeah, it's kind of like, don't care how it has to be done, it has to be done. Okay, so did we, we have to copy this folder, and then this is just jack the Windows fonts. We need to actually like come up with the fonts somehow. Get an MIT licensed font. So let's go ask it. Okay, it works. Wow. Okay, so this is my little freely hosted I have to still fix this. I thought I fixed this error. But you saw it working though, right? It's like it works. It's just the JavaScript gets jacked up. So when it does this, what you really need to, I know what it is. How do I go into the repo? Damn it. I'm a freaking noob when it comes to, so it's using this model, 2.5 billion parameter, or 32. It's like some small model that's free. So what I have to do is go into the repo and not keep getting distracted. Files, I believe, yeah, okay, so this is the GitHub. What the fuck is the JavaScript file? It's, what it is, it's this. And it told me the answer last time. I don't remember where it's at. I believe it's in some fucking prompts. And I hate relying on saving things anywhere, even a notebook paper now. It's just, there's so much shit. Oh, God, yeah, I mean, there's stuff like that. Yeah, so I was working with this and the collab, and I made it work in collab, and then I brought it into Hugging Face. That's how I get my cloud models to function now. I found this out by just doing it. All I have to do is plug this into this. Yeah, there was other. We may have to switch users here. No. It wasn't this. But this is kind of what the setup is. You have to do this key. Then it reads the key from an environment variable, and it's stored on the website. So it's like, yeah, so I believe that this is the code. It just removes. On a freaking error drive. The error drive like disconnects if I use too much bandwidth through it. But it still works for storage. There's a lot of storage. It's like an SSD external Samsung. So Samsung isn't perfect. I guess if you get junk parts for free, you get weird stuff going on. Just have to name it something and clone the instance and compare it. So I want to really see the code. My brain's not fully awake yet, so it doesn't want to read it. It's just like blah blah. That's the problem with using too much AI. It's like blah 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 blah. The code is bullshit. It takes like some coffee and like some sleep deprivation for your brain to like kind of like caring about what the code means. And then go plugins, compare. What did it change? I know it changed this with this try. It's nice to get rid of the try, but it's like, what other shit did it like fuck up? Okay, that's good that it actually turned this off, because the thing goes away. And I thought I had it already. So the one that's running, yeah, the environment token. So like if I change this, my environment token would be fucked. So I only have to change this last part, this last half. Okay. This is how you like have to do the development cycle. See what the AI said, do a compare manually of every single line code. Okay, so what we do, let's edit this shit. It's gonna take it a second to like relaunch. So I was trying to manually get this to like share. You can't. You have to use curl in order to. Okay, response that quote. This is Python code, so the indents or whatever have to be perfect. It looks perfect. Okay. And it changes to main. We have to restart the instance, or the yeah, it has to build it, and then it like launches the HTTP server. You could watch it do this. All right, let's copy our resources. It's got way too tangential, just for no reason. What this does is output the sprites of the text. Let's see. Can't even see it here. Get how to do this. Like, there's a way to view the layers. How do you view mask? Oh, it didn't. Did it even open the font? It didn't do it because it wasn't even. Fuck. It didn't load the stupid icons, so it couldn't do it. Alright, we have the icons in place. I need to redo all these icons, and I did all these icons. I don't know why I spent like all this like suffering doing them if they suck. I told myself not to do that, but I didn't have much of a choice. It was just like, get this to work or no. Yeah, okay. Tree mining. There was a really cool one that we have to accomplish by today. At least I want the MCD to deploy some multiplayer settings UI. And the settings UI, I keep getting all these cool ideas of disabling or enabling things like alpha blend and shadows. Fuck knows what. I probably need to really build a base system really nicely first. Let's see. I need to go look at the general's code for the raycasting and some other things. something is running, but I can't tell like what's going on here. Just like a terrain. No, pressing anything doesn't work. It looks cool though. I mean, not really, but okay, so this demo is like stupid. There's some bad ones out there. Oh, this is the really cool one. Because here, the vehicles travel on terrain. So you can kind of see them that they go up and down on this terrain. And I believe that's supposed to be water or something, or not. You could have some water. And then you have these trees that it made. A lot of stuff I could. And since we have the text rendering, we could now render these. We don't have the SVG. I do have the SVG on the other computer that was playing all the crazy stuff on YouTube. Once you log into it, it like says play on all the. And I can turn it off by going upstairs and like pressing on the keyboard function button and pause, and it pauses every single one of them, which is kind of cool. But I don't know if that, I didn't even try it cross through. I wanted to say TeamViewer, Rustdesk. Rustdesk's TeamViewer's clone basically, and I could try to remote desktop into it, but it's on a different Wi-Fi, so it's like stupid. And we have to log into the two Linux computers. We're logging into one. The UI Linux, and try to compile the game too. Because since it's GLFW and Blue, should work on Linux, but I would have to sit there and kind of troll something else and while I'm building the libraries. And it's really hard to troll the same thing because you just get confused and you start doing hallucinating things. This one, I don't believe we can. Yeah, so this has a warehouse. The way this little RTS is set up is they bring it to the lumberyard and the warehouse or something processes it. So it has like a processing system, so you have a resource. Yeah. It seems like a simple little thing, but it's really cool because for the other demos, just the truck miners. Okay, so in this one, obviously doesn't look as cool, but it has a little more functionality or something. Okay, so we have this. Now the camera doesn't move all nice, but it's meant also to work on mobile. That's why it has these buttons. I have some mobile demos where the cameras and the ray casting is a little better. A lot of them it's really bad. So if you click on this, it trains a truck. That's how you train. It doesn't have the whole like, oh, you have to click here and there. And they just bring it back. This one a little simpler and more complicated because you could train the trucks. So you have like one more feature some other way while not having some of the other features. Okay. What is MCVP build drone? Let's try this drone. This drone operator seems to be undone. It's supposed to be another like soldier class, like you would have engineer, soldier, rocket guy, and drone operator. There might be a few other ones, mechanic or some sort of civilian. It would just be cool to at least have 5 like default classes for infantry in RTS, but actually 3 are just required. Because the engineer is really cool because you can capture weapons. Yeah, here you just train this drone operator guy, and he kind of just fires these. They just look like rockets, really. Just a modification of the homing rocket. And those are supposed to be drones, and those are the bad guys. I don't remember how they get killed. More and more come. Let's reload this and only train one. And he has this little time-based thing. So we're the blue guy. Somehow that guy's getting hurt. They both look like they're getting hurt, but really one is getting hurt. That effect is kind of cool. I like how the material kind of flashes. And then there's like an effect when he dies, it's just like a little splatter. Because in the MCV one, what I didn't show off yet was the fact that the MCV can run over people. That was like another feature that I told it to add, and then like all the features started like dying. The other feature in this that's bad is the way he's always on the grid. Like the grid should be like a lot smaller, like in that tank game. Oh, he can't run them over. Not in this one. So we have to switch repos here. These have like the specs I was trying to do. Is soldier. It might be soldier, but we could always. Yeah, see how like nice this moves compared to that MCV. It just seems like it does it without having to. It just basically it means upscale the grid, and also have this grid for like the way it draws it. You have to clone all the code. Okay, so on this one. He doesn't have the little circle thing when you select them. But let's see if he can run it over these people. He might not be able to. This means soldier. It doesn't look like it. I think it's in a different folder. Yeah, you can't run them over. Maybe it was in demo 5 or something that he could. I think it was in demo, yeah, it was this. Alright, so those are the bad guys. And he drives a little better in this, and I like how he kind of like tumbles. But he should tumble for like the first 3 kind of frames, not the 3 frames, but the first kind of like half a square. Yeah, you can drive them over. But it doesn't have that many features, like you can't build soldiers now. And this was the one prior to that, like this sort of started with, it kind of started with, you could run stuff over so you could run over the other vehicles. Well, not in this, but that's the idea. See how there's no barracks. Yeah, so the power plants, like, they don't even tell you that they produce energy, they're just like, they're just there. And the buildings all look the same. That's funny. Yeah. So I did do some 3D modeling for this. Like the Inting website has my like templates, some of the structures. So I do need a model importer. I wanted to do always OBJ and then just go from that. I have these platforms for kind of like showing where you're going to build. Very kind of low poly type style with these kind of gradient stylish. I need to make them shiny too. You can make a shiny shader, like a toon-like shader with specular, and just have these gradient type textures. And we use the same texture for everything. But it's kind of hard because it takes some 3D modeling. That's why I kind of want to go with just this kind of generated 3D style. Like this. Then just have the shader kind of good. and then just maybe a little shadow map, and so it can have the capability of running in a Raspberry Pi and Android for sure. Good performance, not like bogging down the graphics, and that's like the main thing, because that opens the doors to more modification over time. Later, you can just do all that fancy GLTF format, bones, and all that. Because this can still have the canon move. It's just more manual to kind of code it. It's actually easier because there's not that many objects to worry about. Like, we have like what, 4 cubes and 2 cylinders. That's it. I just need to have another function to draw cylinders, another function to draw rectangle cubes. And I should be able to pull out half the code from this. Saves a little bit of time. It does waste time too. Okay, so in this one, the tank just shoots them, right? It doesn't run them over. You can't command the tank. I think in one of these you can command the tank. I need to save screenshots. So deploy. It has the thing. It has the selection. Yeah, I need to make a view frustum. That was the thing I was researching yesterday. How do I make this like view frustum cast, a ray cast, a view frustum ray cast? So I would need to do like some sort of like view frustum ABB thing. What is inside the view frustum? And it's a whole topic. Like, it'll be a grind. Alright, so that doesn't exist yet. Okay. Then there's tree mining and tree mining Grok. Yeah, I need to make one where you build tanks and the tanks run them over. I think I had it, but I don't know. So the tree mining doesn't work. There's just some error. I might be able to fix it. And it's like, how much time do you want to spend on every little demo you do? It's like sometimes you just abandon them, it's faster. Yeah, so, like, it just coded something wrong, some little error. And usually the other AI can fix it. So I don't have to, but then I have to compare the files, see what it deprecated and changed. Yeah, so it creates like cube, has a view matrix, frame thing. It's using some sky. Does it use it? This is raw code. There's no 3.js. There won't be shadows or specular, but you can make it. And then just convert this to OpenGL because it's like the same thing almost, just different language. JavaScript, C++, not that bad. So let's see if Grok looks tree mining. But there was the other 2 tree mining games. So what the hell is this? It looks like it used some library and it fucked inside the library. Tripped over some comma. I'm seeing this unexpected token thing. Great. Stupid Grok. Yeah. Let's see what it did. Yeah, it included this Reg 1 minified. They tried to do a pretty good job of doing all this like little extra heavy code, but so what I would do sometimes is just take this code, tell a chatbot. You could also load up ChatGPT 5.1 with Copilot, and it has 10-minute like thinking thing. It's pretty good. But I noticed it generated some code. I just allocated a bunch of buffers, so it did create some really gnarly malicious code inside of it. That's the magic prompt right there. Coded MuxGL JavaScript full HTML page, and then what you want. And then if you want to modify code, then you put comma, modify code, colon, the code, copy paste. Okay, so we would want it to do not use recode without reg1 usage, please, but keep all game functionality. Remove using for library. Don't use any external libraries, but keep current game functionality so it works. Modify code. Yeah, I don't have a paste before I don't paste the problem. It's like a double problem. So I'm rewriting this thing like 4 times now because I have 2 other examples and they break too. I just need a little portable RTS game running on the PC through OpenGL. Alright, let it cook. So we should have gotten this to work now. Now I can modify it because I have a clone of this. I can fix a few things up and try to use it now. And I think I've cloned the other project because something is very loud. Why is it not loading? Something is stupid. It looks like it's loading the sprites. I should have cleaned this up. I think I did. I also cleaned up my other code on my other computer, where I don't have all this injection BPO stuff. This is cleaned up, but it's still 1,000 lines because it has to use multiple systems and merge a bitmap to bitmap and generate a bitmap and then render off that bitmap. Just nice because it's using that whole architecture for one texture for everything. And then it could have a few buildings, textures, sprites for the UI, and then the text. They both need a shared memory thing, or like a global memory, so I don't have to use alloc. I just alloc once. That'll speed things up. It's like saving every electron counts in the end, because like later it's very hard to go back and fix that, especially when it gets big, because it gets big fast. Like text render, super great. Netcode, what the fuck? And then physics, oh, you're dead. You're dead from code. Bloat. Yeah, that's why even having ABB physics seems to be like the most cohesive thing. It's like all I really need to do is have that run over code, and I don't even need ABB physics. I just need the server to do it. It's all. That's it. It's going to be like the hardest part of the physics. MCV type vehicle thing and tanks running over soldiers. That's like the best RTS feature. That's like the thing I love in Lego. So, oh, he's got engineers, and the tank can keep fighting the tank and go drive over more infantry. Like that's a good use of an RTS unit. It's so realistic and it's so like naively violent. That's all you need. That should just be fun. Like even if you play against the computer for hours, like you build 10 tanks they have like 100 soldiers who just plow through them. And if they're running away and not shooting you, they all like don't do any damage and die. Just the stupidest mistakes. And you can do that with the computer a lot of times in Red Alert type games, Command and Conquer, where like the computer will just keep sending them to like attack your like main thing because it's just like so distracted by it. And then you just have this tank like just driving around kind of like in the woods, the little roads they're driving them over real quick. And then you could have some sort of repair station somewhere nearby, just repairing these tanks. Just doing these Carmageddon GTA rampages against infantry. It's the stupidest way to win, but... And then MCVs can run over tanks too, like these bigger like apocalypse tank type vehicles. I don't know, people say like Total Annihilation was a good game, but it didn't have that. It like lost that. And when I saw that game, I was like, this is gonna be so fun. And then when I played it, I was like, this is crap. Because I played the multiplayer pretty early on some network. And the people were super good, and it was just like, oh my god, I have to get like 2 hours into this on this poor connection and just die every time, and I have no fun. This game is good in terms of its programming, but it's garbage in terms of its gameplay. I'm sorry, Total Annihilation. I really appreciate the tech, but removing or not having any soldiers to run over and engineers to capture buildings. Even in the old Red Alert, that was just Red Alert 1, Red Alert 2. That was just the thing to do. You had drones that, like, if the soldier shot the drone right in front of his face, the drone scraps would kill the soldier still. So it would be like suicide for, what is it called? Kamikaze shit. Oh yeah, and then you can have nuke trucks. In mine, I plan to have like refueling trucks, and you could go and use your refueling truck to just go and like crash into the enemy. Like, all right, you're gonna kill me. I have no defense, so I'm just gonna kamikaze you. Just this is where the real RTS is, and it's not in that fucking fancy ass graphics shit. Like, oh, we had StarCraft, the fucking thing. Same shit in StarCraft. It's like, oh, yeah, Battlecruiser can kill a lot of SCVs. So can Mutalisk, but you're sitting there like fucking farming. Like the farming in, I mean, resource gathering in StarCraft is badass. You gotta have a lot of collectors. I mean, SCVs or drones, and then like when you get all get killed, and the speed of the game is just nice. But then you can't just do something stupid. Like the coolest thing is like the Reaper jumping over the walls. It has still the good unit carrier thing. Like you could put 8 Marines in a transport and drop them off somewhere. While in Red Alert, you could put them into the little Jeep and transport your spy into that and transform into something else. That's a really cool mechanic. And yeah, like basically passengers. And the Bullfrog is just the ultimate. It's just like you could just launch them out of the fucking thing. You could launch an engineer behind an MCV, behind his base, like, and just do these special little missions, these parachute missions as the Soviets, and you just keep fucking them up. Because what you do is you don't just drop the engineer. You could have this super special team. It's like super special operation. You get a Tesla trooper, 2 engineers, maybe 2 drones, maybe even 2 Tesla troopers. Yeah, like you could only have 5 because you could only carry 5 in there. So let's say it's 2 engineers, 2 drones, and a Tesla trooper. Now, if he undeploys his MCV and prevents you from capturing, then you do the magnetic thing with your Tesla trooper, so the MCV gets frozen, and then, or you use the drone and you shock the MCV so it can't move. Also, you kind of freeze it unless the drone gets killed or the Tesla trooper gets killed. Then use a Tesla trooper to kill the MCV. Oh no, you could also drop it with the flak magnetic guys. So when the drone freezes it, there could be 2 flak magnetic guys, and they can maybe not 2 engineers, but 1 engineer or 2 engineers. It depends, because you could use the other engineer for something else. Like, one will go to the power plant or the war factory. Something that it's for sure going to cause, but the player is going to have to click real quick on the MCV, so he's going to forget the other building, so you're going to get something captured, and then if you kill the MCV and capture something else, you've just fucked him completely. You've just ruined his day. Even if he has the advantage on you, he's going to be mad. Even if he pulls out of it good, he's going to be mad. So you're going to do moral damage. And possibly a lot of good game damage and twist the tide. And this was it's just the killer that made me addicted to Red Alert 3. It was just this fact that you can just do these very minch baggy, trolly, and what do you call it? Not malicious, this other word. What am I doing here? Oh, I'm figuring out why this doesn't work. Let's get on the one that does work, and we can always break through it. Okay, so we have all this shit. Oh yeah, I need to just look at the TTF. Yeah, so it loads it. We need to change the text. Yeah, the next thing's, yeah, it has like different like stupid cyberpunk mode. Few little like demo features. It renders sprites. Like this demo, it could do sprites, and it could do text from the same texture in a different offset of the map. It's so high technologically advanced, but it's actually like really annoying to get to work. All right, so it loads these fonts. This is what it used to load. Yeah, and so this is like a 2D feature, really. You could run a 2D game already off of this. Let's do search entire project, current project, find LTTF. It should be loading aerial or something. Or run it. Yeah, it does. Okay. So it should be jacking Windows font. Okay. The Windows fonts. Yeah, some people are not obsessed about those little two. We've got Alert 3 mechanics and engineer capturing buildings and vehicles running stuff over. But they are, I think, like even Art of War on Android doesn't have it. And it's kind of sad because a lot of the other RTS games that come out just copy fucking. Like there's this one I saw that was good, and this other one too. Just nice graphics, cool resource things, like your army can't leave because they have this energy thing problem. And I'm just like, well, I would love to play this, but I'm making my own. It'd be good for studying it, but I still need to get my core mechanics to just get it out there. It would be so much fun just to play with the mechanics that I love, and just seeing people react, even if the graphics are shit. The people think it's shit. People keep talking about, oh, make your Steam page and fucking do all this fucking bullshit and social media. It's like, fuck you. I don't care what you think. That's really what I think. Because if I have my core mechanics, the game is out, and I can modify it and possibly build an SDK too. So I could build a workshop. I already started building a workshop in CrimeWars. And it's pretty easy. Usually it's like a curl upload. Just a PHP file. Oh, just upload a thing. Just do what Gary's mod did. They fucking were the workshop entrepreneurs, or what do you call it, pioneers. That's what made it so cool. And so like everything like Minecraft, like all these like roadblocks, they're all workshop sandbox games. And they have multiplayer. And so like those three things, workshop, sandbox, multiplayer, just obsessive. And a good mechanic, obviously, good gameplay. Fuck the graphics. It's like Minecraft proves that. It's just like, and Gary's mod does too, because some people are like, oh, it's Source with shit graphics, but no, Source is actually awesome because you don't have to do this shit that ID Tech 8 has to do. It has to like use like 50 computers with like giant GPUs to fucking just make these little textiles so the fucking lighting works right. Now, in Source, you have the same problem with Hammer compiling these maps, but you could actually do it in the computer on the CPU, so it's like, that part is not a big deal. The big deal is like going into Hammer and actually making the maps is like harder than coding it. Even if you're a good C++ coder, it's hard for you to make maps because it takes so much time. But you'll be better at some of the mappers with a few other subcategories of things, but the mappers are going to be better at you at mapping just decent looking maps real quick, but you'll be better at like making more of like the Left 4 Dead style complicated maps with events and triggers. And some people are really good because of Gary's mod, because they've used things like wire mod. I have to figure out why this doesn't work. Okay, so Quad Cache 2 is our real, like, our main class. It had to be renamed to Quad Cache 2. It's like the version 2 class. So it creates an alias. It dumps it all into, like, one BMP type format in memory. It saves the bearing of the character, the advance, the height. Then it frees up the free type font. So I have this working on Android, this whole part. It's a little different. It's smaller in terms of the 8x8 size, I was going to say. Not 8x8 size. It's like 16x16, but here it's like, here it's 16x16. I think over there it might be 8x8. Or, my brain just farted right there. Yeah, so it later merges this into another texture that's 2048 times 2048. It takes one quadrant, and it looks, I guess, semi-decent. I will improve this with the SVG. I'm gonna have to get SVGs working without freetype, I think. I want to test out a few SVG libraries so I can get color SVGs. So I could actually take the SVGs and fonts and run them out. It didn't work. Okay. Gemini said no. So let's do this. Instead of breakpoint here, but not do it in this project. I don't want it to stop working. It should be working. I know what it is. Why is fragment shader not existed? Doesn't have any text. That's what it is. It's because there's no fragment shader. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so the shader figures out how to shuffle the shit. There we go. And so I kind of tried to do the error effect I got by accident and try to replicate it. It didn't really work. I have it saved of how it looked like on TikTok or something. And I wish I had it saved here, but I would have to like had something to do with this. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like if you take the coordinates of the UPs and you fuck with them, and then you draw shit over that, and you just do that frame by frame. It's like skewing the skew. And then if you were to draw this multiple times, that creates kind of like the cyberpunk glitch type effects without using too much power. And then if I had some special effectors, how do we get back? This is not getting back, this is getting worse. Yeah, so if there was like 10 layers of quads and like we kept enabling more and more stuff to happen. Which is a cool experiment because it really teaches you on how to manually code this. Yeah, you see how I could just manipulate the UV coordinates still? I could see other parts of the atlas. Yeah, just doing that creates sort of like an error, like without having to create too much cyberpunkness into it. You can just do Galatian scanline, but there's tutorials on how to do it in the fucking After Effects or some shit. That's pretty cool, coding a replay recorder. Yeah, that's actually one of the things I need, is a replay recorder. I'll probably watch this whole live later. In the car. Because it's not that hard. It's usually just, okay, just take the events and just replay them at the right timestamps. And hopefully everything synchronizes. Because an RTS game needs a recorder. So people can play back and cast it. Battlecast for Red Alert 3 used to be so badass. It was just like, it was not watched by many people, and it was kind of like not so big, but it just brought like, people care about this in this game. Like, it's a really good marketing tool. You get somebody that likes their game, they want to be popular, Battlecast. They get to watch two players like just grind it out with whatever stupid strategy they have. And the nice thing with this would be to have different like factions and different setups and people just trying different things while battlecasting. And with all this stupid Twitch crap now, it's like it's easy to like open OBS and just like stream. Make systems, not games. This looks cool. Like, I just want to watch this video just because Tetris is cool and like these good systems, like Snake and Tetris. Like, imagine if you just merge these two games together using WebGL and Pong. Like, there would be just like these three things going on, and everybody would understand almost what's going on because they know three games. And all you have to do is like change the color. make blue for Tetris, make green for Snake, and make red for Pong. Oh, that's cool. I like the little dot things. Oh yeah, ray casting with gunfire thing. All right, what we need is. Yes. We need noise. Okay, so we just need to like displace the UV coordinates on the scan line, I believe. That'll just make the easiest version of it, and then also do some of the other effects I have. Okay. So why would an RTS game not want to have cyberpunk glitch text? Are we allowed to command the truck? Yeah, we can tell it to go to places for no reason. Because there's no more trees, so like, what is it gonna do? Because the truck is also supposed to like run over people. So you would have like lumber trucks and rock trucks and I don't know, other trucks, ore trucks, metal scrap trucks, whatever. Just carrying around trash, and it's like you would have no use for them. They would still have gas in them, so you're not gonna like siphon the gas out of them, even though you could. That would be a cool game feature, where you go and like disable an enemy vehicle, kill the soldiers inside, and go siphon the gas out of it. You just wouldn't really need the catalyst converter, even though it would be a really great fog feature. Like your vehicle wouldn't be heard from afar because you jacked more catalyst converters than the enemy did. All right, let's see. Is our chatbot like working now? Like, I bet you something broke. Why is it taking so long to respond? No, I really don't want to check the debug log. I feel bad. All right. It all tells you to set show true, but when you set it to true, it complains that you set it to true. I can totally understand how frustrating it must be when you're trying to work with code and something isn't working right. Debugging, yes, so this is a code agent. I made it like, I wanted to sound like a hacker. So like when you're playing CrimeWars, he'd be talking to him and he'd be telling you fucking advice for code. This is like a funny fucking trolley thing, but okay. What if I try to fix my code that Gemini refused to do? Can I tell it this many tokens or this much text? It didn't copy paste it in right. Maybe it did. Oh wow, it's actually coding with this fucking model. Like that right there is already like fine, and like it can do shaders, terrain fragment shader. It like Has a limit. There's a limit. You can't do too much. So I would still need like a Gemini type of thing, Grok or OpenAI to write like Lua game mode code. Something I'm dreaming about, CrimeWars, but I would still need to write first the Lua bindings for everything. And somehow coherently semi-train it and be good at training. So I need to train all these like little small bots like this. Like a little dialogue going on with Gemini on how to do that. Just create like 20-line dialogues and he becomes like the fucking blacksmith NPC and shit. And just simple shit like that. Even simple shit like that is fine. And then try to convert that to like TensorFlow Lite and run it on like shitty phones. It's not like a phone today on TikTok, it's like $60 and it's like there's phone farms also. So you rent out a phone farm and just run a bunch of NPCs on it. My RTS game, running people over with tanks, engineers capturing building. What kind of other RTA features are like this? Should actually ask Gemini this question and just see the comparison of the answer. Siege mechanics, yeah. Transport units, yeah. Supply lines, what the fuck is that? Stealth and detection, kind of cool. Area of effect weapons, that's okay. It's like, it's a lot of that's just stock. Unit upgrades, yeah, that's resource gathering, obviously. Combat and units push up. Yeah, but none of them are, those are just core features. Those are just core features, not mechanics. I understand the distinction between mechanics can be tricky. Sounds feeling to clarify. Okay. Let's ask this shit some shit. Ask it this. And they have a prompt ready for it. So when it answers something smart, we'll just tell it. Men of War series, Act of War. I've heard about some of these games. Oh yeah, Company of Heroes, I believe, was a good hit. Sees mentions Total Annihilation, Supreme Commander, Beyond All Reason. Yeah, Bar was the new game. Then there was like this other game, like Croft or Dwarf or something. Just the website just tells you what Beyond All Reason really is, because it shows off their maps. Their maps are nice. Like as soon as you see this terrainish type thing going on, you're like, oh damn! Like, is this real? Not really, but yeah, like I just enjoyed pictures like this. It just makes me think, oh, where's the map ever? Bots, aircraft, vehicles, ships, hovercraft, factories, defenses, like all the core features in RTS has to have, and that's it. Look at these low poly things. It's great. You just want to like use all these. or this like green shading. It has all the specs. I mean, all the attributes of the thing. That's cool. Yeah, I didn't want to look too much through this to like get way too fucking ahead of myself and just be like, oh, yo, I'm gonna do what it takes to just start copying. Like, then you want to copy these bars and it's like, no, I didn't do it. It's kind of good to like start from scratch and just do your own thing. I have like my own like GLTF viewer that I want to show off, but I like how they did it. There's a shadow, and you can see the shadow, and everything else is transparent. On mine, it's like kind of plain, but where is it? I got that right. Nope. I have to log in here. Oh no. Google does what it wants. BigQuery dismiss, like, keeps offering me like stuff subliminally. Oh, you want to do this? Oh, you need like 10 services. It's like, fuck. No, you don't. You just need to type in a few commands. Know how to set up fucking Apache shit. And it's a whole different fucking profession. Web developer backend or some shit, whatever they call it now. Yeah, so like same type of deal. And there's an animation kind of. It's kind of like what Meta AI uses, just the GLTF viewer. And it's nice because it has the, you can see a sheen. Oh, I saw a sheen. The reflectivity of this is nice. Even though it's not great, it's still really cool. Because that's all you need. Because you're like, okay, it's low poly. It means like I could build like 50 of these on a shitty computer and it's going to be good. So people want to play. Because they know more people can play because it's like low poly. And to have one where like you could generate them, it's good to like make like generate with a new meshy low poly version. Yeah, like that's beautiful. It's just so easy, simple. It's nice the thing they made. And like most of the game is just making this, but I think making an RTS properly, the main thing is first just get the mechanics out the door and then do all these like nice low poly models. It's like the War Factory. I was converting it from high poly to low poly. You can see it here in the background. Booby traps and stealth. Yeah, like placing mines. Like that mine Beyond All Reason had. The Art of War game also has a mechanic. Red Alert 1 has it, Red Alert 3 doesn't. You have this mine layer unit, and in Art of War, what's cool, it's not just a single mine laying unit. It's kind of like a bullfrog / Jeep heavier unit. Something in between a tank and a Jeep. Paratroopers and Deep Strike. Hopping transport, the clown car. It'd be good to just kind of make little WebGL games with all of these. Yeah, so Art of War copied the siege tank. CNC's artillery. CNC's artillery sucked. It was such a stupid unit, but it was so funny because of the AoE. So it kind of didn't suck. But what was really cool was the V3 or V2 launcher in Red Alert 1. And I don't remember if 2 had it. I think it did, but Red Alert 3 had the V4 launcher, and the fucking missile just like, and then that gave the rise to the, not Juggernaut, the whatever, the ship. Where's fandom? Yeah, I need to put the thing on fandom. Always put your game on like sites like fandom and like sites that Google like free wikis, and I keep telling myself that it's so hard because you have to spend all this time just sitting there and grinding this out. So you might as well just take a person and just put it in a database and tell them clone all this into all the to all these combat engineering. Dreadnought, that's what it's called. Some people like obsess about the Kirkov. Yeah, he fires a ray of V4 rockets. It's fucking hilarious because it just destroys buildings. Sometimes this has the concept art, and you could take two images. I've done this before, and go to ModDB and like merge them together and create a new unit. And that's a really good way to conceptualize new units. I did that for some units. I have them in some folders. I kind of had a workflow for that. So yeah, this more goes into the whole game design, 3D modeling. Now, he looks like half a submarine here. This is kind of like the one before the original, or the stock. The stock looks like this. Water shader in Red Alert 3 is alright. They have like the whole fucking thing. So I usually think of the Dreadnought not too big of a deal unit, but it's just having certain these like unique mechanics. Oh yeah, this shit, the nuke truck. This was the transport APCs. Some of these are kind of boring, but then you kind of need a few boring units and non-boring units for the game to be interesting. I believe. The classic War Factory, it's just like a warehouse in a fucking garage door. That's how like my War Factory kind of looks like. I need to make a new one. This is a refinery, but it doesn't look like it. This is actually a good picture of a refinery. It'd be good to clone this. Because most refineries don't look so old now. That's how the power plant looks like in the olden days. In the 3D Max days. That's actually cool. It would be cool to make it look like this. Because it's not really like this in the game. It looks like different. This fucking thing, the super giant fucking cannon thing that fires like halfway through the map. Yeah, like I'm getting too much into this. I need to close this. Alright, Dr. Python. Can we rename this thing from Dr. Python to something else? A therapist who understands your code and your feelings. Yeah, it's a coding therapist. It's just the funniest shit. Yeah, like I talk to the coding therapist. Why is my code problems? Error, index out of range, check your It should say the same thing because this JavaScript didn't really update. Wow, it knows how long it's gonna take. So that's a good parameter to know. Like, how do I know this parameter? It shouldn't work if this dialog died. Why is my code problems? The time is the same. But in this one, we can kind of tell it's responding. Well, I can totally understand feeling frustrated. Code stressful at work and is expected to providing more detailed issues you encounter. So he's not really a coder, he's like a therapist for coders. But it's funny because he tries to like help you code. So did he answer the same thing? Almost. It's a little different. That was sort of like a test. Here he had like some garbage to talk about me with. And here he just had a few there was a few errors. So he actually talked to me for 2 sentences that we didn't see. I don't know. Or maybe not. Maybe it like reinstantiated the instance. So it's a new instance of the dialogue. Yeah, so it like creates an agent. Because like one of the concepts is the AI will use a chatbot to be the AI, and they'll kind of play with you. Like it can have like multiple responses. One response is like unit command, the other response is build, and the other response is talk to the player or something. Respond to player actions. Fourth response. And it'll sit there on Hugging Face and play against you or something. Or through TensorFlow, it'll be local on your own server or machine. So we wanted to load. Alright, I'll be back. We wanted to load the LLVM. LLVM should be on M drive. The project has so much dust it might have broke. Yeah, LLVM project. There's multiple folders. There's a WinMG also version. I kind of remember how to build this, but I should just dive deep into it and just build multiple versions. Because it would be cool that when the game starts, I already have like a project for it to use your default driver or an alternative render driver. Like that would just tell players like, hey, I really care about you because I compiled my own graphics driver for this game, not just I made this game. So like they know that you can support shit. Like if shit's like doesn't work on one platform, and you have the capability and the know-how and how to go into different platforms and just kick ass. And yeah, so this even has an Android driver and a Raspberry Pi driver, and the Raspberry Pi driver is like works, but the reason it's kind of stupid is because it's just slow anyway. So it's like you might as well just write it for the driver that they give you, or install the Vulkan driver and just run with that on those shittier platforms and rewrite the renderer. Yeah, so we have like stuff like Gallium as the Intel, will be Microsoft. I thought Microsoft and Intel are the same thing. Okay, so you have GL. Yeah, so this gets into the whole world of like Linux and cross-platform. And I don't know why it has IMGU, but I guess it has it for something. We'd have to like get to know Mesa people, Mesa project people, to see what they actually use this for. But this is used even by the big distributors because it needs to be there to counter Vulkan. It's actually Vulkan's competitor. And it has its own Vulkan driver thing. So it's like, it helps Vulkan because it's like, they could look at this code and really get like what the people that learn how to be like the Vulkan guys they can look at the Mesa code and just be like, oh, this is how you get started. This is what this means. This is why the driver like this. Yeah, I have like Mesa things throughout the drive. For some reason we have an install folder here that's empty. You know what, this failed. I guess it failed. And the fun part is with Mesa is that it gets you into LLVM. And LLVM is basically like build the Clang compiler or something. Clang compiler is the other alternative to GCC and Visual Studio compiler. So you get to learn a lot about C++ and C. There's Clang C and Clang C++, and there's GCC for C and G++ for C++. So you get to go in compiler land and lose your life. Pink coder. Alright, LLVM, yeah, so yeah, it's always good when it's on different drives and you have no idea which one to pick. Yeah, so I can install it and do it on Linux also. Graphics. You will learn something here about Linux, Windows, and possibly Android. I don't know about Apple and Metal with this. But really, it's really good for programming. It has some Glute demos, some graphics demos.